Hello and greetings. I am Shoshana, and today we're going to talk about another topic. As you already know, I like to talk about things that nobody else is talking about, so let's talk about it. As you see in the title is Underwater Cables. So, I have been aware for a very, 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 very long time that there is underground cities, underground underground cities as big as the Denver International Airport times 2. But I was not aware that these cables were in the water. Maybe a lot of you think that this is obvious. Apparently, this is something that I guess is obvious to a lot of people, but I didn't know. I assumed that, of course, these underground cities are going to have Wi-Fi, these underground cities where a lot of celebrities live, a lot of these tunnels, they're going to have their own form of underground Wi-Fi, whatever you want to call it. I have always assumed that to be a given, underground Wi-Fi. But I never, ever imagined that there were underwater cables. Underwater cables like the photos that I'm showing in this video. I'm going to be showing various photos that I was just kind of looking at, and they were deeply disturbing to me. They were very, very disturbing to me. You know, one thing is to have cables in our day-to-day life. We already have so many cables. We have electrical wires and electrical cables and underground cities that also have cables, but penetrating the water, penetrating an entire marine life with these cables that go to connect to each other to cover the entire earth. These high voltage cables that generate EMFs that distort the natural EMF or distorts the natural geomagnetic field. So there is a natural everything. There's the artificial version, and then there's the man-made version, and then there's the natural geomagnetic fields that marine organisms use to navigate. That is distorted. That is distorted when there's man-made cables. These cables cause communication interferences that the marine life are used to. They have an echolocation system. They have mating calls and social interactions that they do with sounds, frequencies, especially whales. Throughout my research of underwater cables, the animal that I found the most susceptible was whales and dolphins. We also have military sonar that is also disrupting the sea life. So we're causing a habitat disturbance. We're causing a habitat pollution that increases turbidity levels and has a traumatic effect on the whales and causes hemorrhages hemorrhages and even tissue damage. So those are just tiny little examples of what these cables are doing to the sea life. Do you remember last year there were whales that did a shape of a heart? A whole bunch of whales got together and they did this shape of a heart, and then they committed suicide and they got out of the water. Can you imagine how much pain, how much suffering those whales must have gone through to commit suicide and do something that is completely unnatural to them? Because they were being tortured. They were being tortured by psychotronic weapons. They were being tortured by military sonar, as well as whatever combinations that has with high voltage cables that are under the water. So I cannot sit here and tell you my opinion. I can't tell you my opinion because I'm not trying to get in trouble. I'm not trying to get in trouble for sharing my personal opinion. I'm just here to kind of put these rhetorical questions out there, these rhetorical questions to create this debate. So I did some research and I started looking out of curiosity to see if there were any petitions against it, if there were any petitions against the underwater cables. And there weren't any, but there were petitions to protect it. Now, why? Why would the minions want to protect it so dearly? Why do they spend millions of dollars repairing and protecting those cables? Because they hold data. They hold very, very, very important data. Without that data, they cannot carry out this game of control. And it makes you wonder how much information are we actually talking about? A lot of times when there is a threat from a certain party, it is always a threat to damage those that we are talking about. And the more that I researched, I found that that is actually what the minions protect the most. That is what they find to be the most important, is protecting the title with their dear life, as if it is the arteries. It is the artery system to their matrix that they use to control humanity, right? So let's not go too deep there. Let's start a little debate, okay? Let's get real. Let's get real. So let's say we have a group of environmentalists in one side, and they want to get rid of the title. And then we have one group on the other side, and they want to continue protecting the title. They want the title to stay. And their reasons are because the entire system, the entire monopoly system relies on it and is nothing without it. And then we have the environmentalists on the other side that are saying, nope, 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 there's a disruption of biological processes. We need to get rid of it. It's disrupting physiological processes in marine organisms, to say the least. But what does that mean? What does that mean? That means no mail, no banking system, no international relationships, no international communications, no YouTube, no social media, no internet, no emails. The list goes on. All these things that people rely on are so used to using these cables that it's easy to say, okay, go ahead and remove it. But could people really go back? Could they really go back to living? Can you imagine the breaking down of a system and the riots and the looting and the lack of order, and the people would have to, it would be a hot mess. It really would be a hot mess. I'm not sharing my opinion of what I think. I just want it to be out there for people to evaluate themselves, because it's something that we should have known. This is something that should have been discussed a long time ago. There's so many things that go without people even voting on. There's things that should require the opinion of the people, the opinion of the community. And that's just something that is and has not happened for a very long time in any country. Since when has the community had a voice? Whenever you do a petition against anything, it can take years. It can take years for that petition to go into action. It has to go through a whole court system. You need a certain amount of signatures. You need some money. And by then, the damage is already done. Just like all the damage that's going on in South America for cattle. People are petitioning against it, and that petition can go for years. And by the time anybody wins their right to any piece of land, the damage is already done. They've already massacred so many people and animals in the Amazon that they have no respect or honor for. So going back to the UC, it just makes you wonder if that is happening underneath humanity. I'm the kind of person that freaks out if there's a Wi-Fi box left on after hours if nobody is using it. I'm over here worried about unplugging a Wi-Fi box when there's an entire cable system underneath our feet in the water affecting the sea life. And it just makes you wonder how the combination of those frequencies and the satellites, it's like we're trapped in a cyborg system of nothing but cables and wires. It's really depressing, and it makes it that much more important to control your own vibration and to control your own frequency, as well as controlling the frequency of your household. I have accumulator system that has different frequencies. So when I feel like something is not right, I modify the frequency to the house. I find that very helpful. But of course, there are opposing energies that didn't like my accumulator. So they've been attacking it until it's almost not working anymore. Now I have to get a new one. So I just wanted to put this little video out there for anybody who had no idea. Now you know why you feel the way that you do, where you feel like you are just constantly attacked by so many environmental issues. You have to use a combination of tools to feel better. You have to use a combination of tools to just get up and start your day, because we get taken advantage of when we're in our vulnerable state, in our sleeping state, we get taken advantage of. So that's about all that I wanted to talk about today. I hope that you found something helpful in this kind of information. Till next time, bye.